So we have heard for the first time here a lot about the excellence, the brilliance tree with values and the three main core strategies from what is coming about forever. And I would like you, if you can talk a little bit for FBOs, what means well-being, finance, and what is the third one?
Community.
Community. Yes, community.
I think when you look at it's, you can look at that you're as an individual, the importance of, health, finance, and, of course, creating a community. But, I think it's also to understand how those pillars that we focus on apply as we do the business. Now, we talked about, exercise. You hear in exercise the importance of strengthening your core, and you strengthen your core. Why? You want is better balance. It's just overall your body's healthier as you engage your core as you exercise. And and a lot of as you get older, like balance, things like that are important. And I think as you look at these pillars, the brilliance tree pillars, as you look at wellness, as you look at finance, and as you look at community, it's important to engage those, because that's going to bring balance and stability to your business. And I think as we focus on, for example, in this trip I'm on now, I've talked about community. Today a lot of people's community is built right here on their phones, when in fact it's more important than ever to have that personal touch, and to be able to to get close with people. I believe in network marketing today. We've seen kind of this full circle where you've seen a one-on-one business, and then it kind of got into the internet, and then it got into big meetings, and I see this kind of full circle where we have just a great opportunity to get back to one-on-one with people. And as we engage our core, and our core in our business, finance, wellness, community, is those as we engage with those, we're going to bring balance in our business, but we're also going to help people identify what they can do to have that balance in their lives as well. So I think it's for us as an FBO, but just as important is to help others identify those important pillars in their lives. And it's a great opportunity to establish, as we were talking about, that relationship with them, and help them engage their core, and to build stability through building a business with forever.
I've heard a story, I think it was in Fortaleza for sure, when I was with Aidan. And in fact, someone from Instagram, an FBO, she sent me a message talking about her leadership and how her leadership helped her with mental, emotional things, and how she was important for her and everything she has done. And it was amazing to meet them in Fortaleza. So I met her, this person who said about her leadership. And as soon as we understood that we have a lot of emotional well-being here in Brazil that sometimes we do not talk about.
Yeah.
Yes, we just push. And I think like 30, 60 days ago, we did a training on that. We invited someone specialized on mental health, and we had about 400 FBOs online, and it was so nice. They said, oh, I never thought there were tools that I could manage for myself first, and then for other people, to make my day better, to make my mental health better, because otherwise we're going to stress, and it's part of this well-being.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we underestimate the power of listening to people, because it is really powerful, because we learn a lot, and from a mental well-being, I think we can help a lot just by listening to people.
And as you said about community, I'm going to come with a question here, and you said that, but digital, and so digital relationship, and also how do you say when you are together, it's
Person to person.
yes. So what do you see in these terms? Like, we we come from COVID and home offices, and I've heard from some FBOs, nobody wants to take a traffic,
Yeah.
a bus to go to a meeting. But at the same time, it's so important to meet, to hug. We see this on
Yes, absolutely.
the events. So what do you see in terms of best practice people are doing, how to balance those two words?
Yeah, I mean, nothing is a substitute for one-on-one,
Okay.
person, and that personal kind of touch. Nothing is a substitute for that. However, I think with technology, and we saw this, of course, through COVID, it is an ability to, just for example, to get on Zoom, and when you can talk to somebody and look at them on a, through a video conference, it's much more powerful than talking to them on the phone, because you don't know how engaged they are. So obviously technology gives us a great opportunity. From FLP 360 standpoint, it's a great tool. It's not a substitute for, for meeting with people, but it's a great tool to identify, understand, what people are doing in their business. We have, of course, you can find out kind of those, we talk about 4 core, retention, recruitment, development, and as we think about those things, productivity, and we measure those things in our business, it helps us identify when we do meet with people, maybe a focus, what we need to do. So I think technology is a great tool that to support our business, identify things, as well as reach out, through, we have several ways that you can engage with people as well through our technology platform. But when it comes to meeting with people, like I said, there is no substitute. And I do see this now that, more and more people are comfortable with Zoom. They don't want to get dressed up, but don't let that be a crutch, something that you do instead of meeting with people. Use that as an opportunity to follow up. Use that as an opportunity to have, for maybe training. But when it comes to communicating and to building that relationship, it's, make it a priority to try to meet with people in person.
And mainly in Brazil, where we like to hug,
Yes,
kiss, to be together, the heat of the relationship.
And it doesn't all have to be formal. It can be very informal. It's just connecting with people.
Yeah. And you said something nice, is that, and usually it's so good to talk to you when we are not on this podcast, I mean like in our meetings, because every time you say, let's see the data.
Let's see the data.
Let's see, let's
It
open
tells
here, tell us.
I shared some data with the FBOs on Sunday. Absolutely. It tells us things. And, I look at it a little different. I'm looking from a Brazil standpoint many times, is, how are they engaged with 4 core? What are some things? That's why I mentioned at the very beginning of this podcast about development, which is one of our 4 core, is I think we need to develop more people. There's a lot of people in Brazil. There's a lot of people coming into the business. We need to help develop them more into leaders.
So every leader that is listening to us can have access to FLP 360. They can see these data from their team, from themselves, and this will help you to identify where do you need to work more. Yes. So this helps to save energy and get more results.
Yes. It gets you focused. And instead of just kind of throwing, we say darts at a dart, it helps you really focus on where you need to put your energy.
Yeah, because sometimes like they just say something and didn't see the numbers before. So I'm an engineer, so I love data, I love informations, because I think sometimes I say that I think a lot of things. I have a lot of opinions. Everybody has a lot of opinions, but numbers usually they don't lie. So seeing the numbers is amazing. Yes.